Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to stream. Welcome back to the couch. Hello, Mr. Code. Welcome back to the couch. I hope you enjoy your stay. Hello, Annie. Two hellos. Sheesh. The hello economy. Welcome back to the couch. I hope you enjoy your stay. Oof. I hope you had a good weekend. Hope the Dark Souls 2 was good, was fun. Okay. I have no plans, also a bunch of plans for today. I have potential plans. Missed the audio. Rip. Like for stream, did I finish? Yeah, I finished with your mom last night. Oh, if we're talking about Dark Souls 2, I got credits last week on stream for official game. I didn't go back and play the third DLC yet on my own time. Over the weekend, I was busy. But so like yes and also no. Dark Souls. Sorry. Oh, Mr. Code didn't like that. You know, I didn't like that. Too crude humor. Okay, well, oh. What's that tongue doing? I don't know. This might not be the stream for you. Walked in that one. I mean, in the same way that someone carrying their phone walking into a room with someone with the I explode lithium ion batteries button is like someone walking around with a grenade. It's like, well, technically, but there are so many situations where that wouldn't be an issue. You just happen to be in the wrong place with the right phrase. No. I think that some of certain phrases that are normally very safe are around me and my sister are dangerous weapons. Normally we're watching shows or something, or my mom will say something and we'll just have to clown to clown connection, look at each other and be like, no, that you can't say that. No. Oh, I can't remember what it was. There was something like last night. I don't remember. Yeah, but I think depending on which Souls game you're playing, different weapons have different stats for like weapon things. But Dark Souls 2, you can actually see the stat in game. If you open up the weapon like interface, I don't know how spells work. They probably don't show you anything, but a lot of the weapons will have this little this little return descender looking arrow with a value, and that value is the counterattack value. And it's like if in Night Rain, if you remember, there's the thing where it's like, you know, after ult it boosts piercing counterattack for Iron Eye. It's the same concept. That's like the counterattack is something that sometimes exists mostly for piercing weapons, I think, for some reason, but they'll do more damage if an enemy is attacking or has recently done it. So hitting them while they're doing it can be good money. Like there's I've watched my fair share of, you know, like one-shot compilations, and one of the things that people use a lot is the Zweihander has this one like thrust attack And if you do that into a boss during like its first attack, sometimes that can be the highest damage thing you can do. And in a lot of, and then in the Souls games, there's I think all 3 Souls games have it, but it's the Leo ring boosts thrusting counterattack specifically, maybe, or maybe just all, is it all crits and things? But there's some weird little mechanics in there. So sometimes that voice is telling you good things, because I don't think it applies to everything. But suppose you're confusing so hard. How do I get more? Oh yeah, so I think you can find some. I think almost all of them are, well, that's not true. Most of them I believe are bought from NPCs. So like sorceries, I know the Hex guy, and the Miracle Lady, and the Pyromancy guy. I don't know if I know a sorcerer. It's probably Strayed. Can I equip the same spell twice? I think so. Because it's all about, and I think that should work. I also don't do casting and Eldering, but it's like, you know, depending on how many attunement slots you have, you could attune the same spell twice, but you have to have 2 of it. So like, if you were playing a character that didn't have any inventory and you walked out and you found like, I don't even know what the basic spells are, but like found your Elden Ring, you find your pebble, you would need to loot 2 pebbles to attune it twice. But if you did have 2 of the same spell, you could attune it twice. But it's like each spell scroll is like 1 weapon, and you equip it in your attunement slot kind of thing. Side, welcome back to the couch. I hope you enjoy your stay. Hello everyone. How's your hackathon going? Hacking it up. Making the PhD student do all the work. Walk back and shoot spell method. Seems to be okay. As long as no one's behind me. That tracks. That tracks. I guess you just gotta walk back the way you came and kill everybody. I don't. I guess it depends on how many uses your spell got. I know there's something in that game that just like uses souls as ammo, but does it also use the spell slot uses too? I don't. Well, okay. Saying I have never cast a spell in that game is a lie. I did cast spells over the weekend. That's true, but I've never cast like, I think, an attack spell before. I've cast buffing stuff, weapons, body, etc. But I don't think I've ever cast something that hit someone else. So I don't know. Pass through the assessments. Huh. Okay. Cast it on day 1. Takes 2 shots to kill the sword dudes. He spells 30 charges. Okay. Okay. That's not too terrible. Although that seems like the kind of thing that if you're killing every enemy with only spells between rests, that would probably not be enough. Yeah, okay. 30. And because most of this buffs that I use in Dark Souls 2 are somewhere between like 1 and like 6 casts. So I have no metric for like the attack stuff. Wildgate, the space teleporting one, like the space PvP thing. Yeah, that one's not been particularly on my list. Play some Bloons Tower Defense 6. Fighting special limited while fighting the Iron Dudes. We flip the switches. Flip the switches. Very corpse. Rip. Find the Iron Dudes while you flip the switches. I don't know if I'm immediately remembering what that is, but that's not that important. But it do be that's, I think both Dark Souls 1 and 2 have kind of that use system. Because neither of those games have a spell casting bar, you know, like there's no mana. Still don't have my new right now. Still don't I don't know what that means. But Dark Souls 3 introduces a blue bar. So Dark Souls 3 would I actually was thinking over the weekend about spellcasting. I was like, oop. Dark Souls 3 will be a much easier transition spellcasting wise because it uses a 2 Estus system, just like Elden Ring, and also has a blue bar. And it has the prototype of Ashes of War, where weapons have weapon arts, but you can't switch them at all. It's weapon specific. That uses blue bar. Ooh, first time leveling chick with a waterway. There's a dragon somewhere. Dragon somewhere. And a boss room. Oh, the Hyde's Tower of the blue with the water and the big. Oh yeah, okay. It's those are the odd guys in the switches. I see. Hyde's Tower, Blue Flame. That is a classic area. No, that is for Dark Souls 2. That is an OG. Oops, I've accidentally wandered here as a new time player. It is not. I don't think what it is intended for, you know, your first area experience, but that's also where I went. So, that's a classic area to end up to. It can be really fun as a first area, but there's some tips and tricks for that. There's a miracles lady there. Blue bar and blue flask. Yeah, that shows up in Dark Souls 3. I don't know if I've ever played Dark Souls 3 where I was doing a pyromancy playthrough back in the day. We got that flask allotment. Drunken Dragon Gaming. Hello, what's up? Welcome back to the couch. Hope you enjoy your stay. Watching Chernobyl series. I feel like I remember hearing good stuff about that when it was airing, I think. Shield Giant. Spells knocked him back. Okay. Send him into the water. Yeah, there are a lot of ways to kill those guys with gravity / the water, question mark? Including the first boss there. This is where you sit on the couch. I don't know. My couch doesn't have any, but it also is. Well, I mean, technically, I mean, the stand would have to be on the back. I mean, I always assumed that was highlights, but I guess it could be something else. I don't think I've ever drawn like there's not really like the seat portion doesn't really exist. So oh fuck. Bonk. Oh, that's the wrong one. I'm back. Couch is glowing. What is it? Irradiated? What is this, Fallout? What I've been sitting on? It's magic. Theoretical couch. Well, because like I could draw the seat of like, or you know, the actual portion you'd sit on, but it would never be on camera unless I, you know, like it makes sense to me. I feel like, well, even in the little thumbnail, I guess there was a horizontal bar for the part that exists. That might be the first time that's been drawn. Yeah, because the thumbnail of this does have it's a pretty cute little image. Where can I put that? Where is that? Thumbnail looks where is yeah, this is the thumbnail for today's stream. There's a portion of the couch exists, ta-da! Although it's very very black and white, so not a lot of detail there. Is the magic contagious? I think technically probably, yeah. If it's the magic of being able to use your ass to sit on things, I do think it is transmitted with all of your other genetic material as well. Generally speaking, I believe. Ta-da! And it's the same art I used for the New Year stream, because for some reason that stream did really well numerically. And I was like, well, I can't rule out the thumbnail. So I used the same art, and then I just replaced the text. Look at little dudes. I kind of hiding the one on the ground. Floor time. I like that one. That guy turned out really flat perspective wise for some reason. So he looks kind of more like an area rug. Flat Stanley over there. Really don't know what's wrong with that guy. Well, okay, so one of the things on my agenda for today possibly is I use this software called webcam motion tracking for my tracking and like animation stuff. Oh, Big Uncle Stone's back. Uh-oh. What's good, dude? Currently in my house while the cartel shoots rival cartel on the street outside. Well, damn, I was like, how fast before we get some classic statements. It was immediate. There was zero messages between return and that. Welcome back to the couch. I hope you enjoy your stay. But the software I use updated, and so right now I'm using a webcam for the 3D motion tracking, and also a phone for the facial data. If there's an update for, I'm trying not to, I'm just gonna ignore what's happening in my chat until that goes away. No, they added an update where you can use like a sister program on mobile for the facial data, and I think it looks really good. But it does have one notable drawback that I thought I might test on stream and get some more data. Thank you, Annie, for locking in. So this is what it looks like normally, and I'm fairly happy with the hands and the face stuff. Although one of the things is that when I'm gaming and I'm like looking at the screen and talking and not verifying what it looks like on the side, sometimes when I'm watching it back, like there's really not a lot happening talking wise, and I feel like in IRL I am emoting more than what is captured a lot of times, which is a little unfortunate. But I think I was testing the new stuff and it looks really good, but it does have some drawbacks. Okay, so let's see. Well, actually, the drawbacks kind of don't make sense, to be honest, because for some reason, the chances are very high that, so it's like I had to jerry rig a lot of the stuff to do with my model, because I don't know how the internal, like, you know, like the bones and animation stuff for like Blender and 3D animation. I'm not familiar with that science internally. Like, I understand the concepts, but like show me the bones and the what they're called, like blend shapes and stuff, and I'll be like, well, I can understand what they do, but being able to manipulate them, not at all. V2 of Marvel is pretty good. Thank you, Saad. Well, so the weird thing is that with the other tracking version of this, it for some reason loses this just upper body tracking. It just doesn't move. But if you use, like, there's like a base model that's included with this software that's like this random girl, it works for her. So I'm assuming there's something somewhere slightly wrong in like the coding of this model's spine that it doesn't work with that feature, which is really unfortunate. The movement is relatively smooth. That's not super related to my model, I think. Although clearly there is, you know, some things to do with that. But so I'm gonna, let's see. I'm gonna switch it. I was testing this the other day, and I flipped like inside out, which was pretty hilarious. So there could be some fun downsides here. Well, okay, let's see. What movement was mine in the model type? No, I that wasn't like literal, but it could be. I just know that they're like, here, I'll show you just a second. Okay. I'm gone. Okay, so I probably didn't need to invisibilize myself. So I feel like I like I don't know, I feel like I like how it looks. Facial tracking wise, it's pretty similar. It's pretty similar, but see how I don't move at all, and like I like right, my torso is it's static, and my neck, I'm moving it. I'm not sitting this still right now. Right, and I feel like this looks unnatural to me. I mean, as far as like VTubers go, this wouldn't be that bad. I think this version as it is right now is probably not as good as what, like, my half and half kind of. The fetal model. I will get to that, I think. I don't invisible. I think if I go to like, is this, nope, that's bald. Okay, actually I am I actually don't know how, actually. Oh wait, what if because is there, no. So unfortunately, the only reason I thought I could switch to the girl, but it looks like that's not an option I have unless I restart. I could restart the program, actually. Yeah, no, you can see that's why I normally turn stuff off when I'm doing things, but I don't think there's anything necessarily bad here. Glued to the back wall. It's like I've got like a giant metal rod that I'm like tied to on my forehead and my okay, wait, maybe, okay, if I, let's see, I'll be right back. If I kill the tracking, I should be able to bring that back. I was intending, normally if someone would say, they're like, show us the lady, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. But no, I definitely intended to do that at some point, because it is kind of an interesting comparison, because using the same tracking, you get a very different result. Okay, so this is like your, and if you were to download this software now, you could test out the tracking and get to see it on, this is like their default lady. But so like this is using the exact same tracking, and right, so this model will animate the upper body with this, right? If I could get this level, this is probably, you know, what I would go for, because it's basically the same as what I was doing before, but it's using the kind of like, I don't know, I feel like it's their sister companion iOS app for like the tracking stuff. But yeah, so like, right, this one just works. Smiling eyes on your anniversary stream. We could just get smiling eyes again sometime. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I know what that is referring to. It sounds like it's something I said, which means I should know what I was talking about, but I'm not sure I do. Checking avatar for the Gooners. I mean, this is definitely not. I don't, not necessarily goon related, but there was I saw some tracking stuff for that it was like there are so much. I'm not gonna get into that. But so right, this one I'm like stuck, and I'm assuming that's it could very well be some intricacies with the software they're using. Like they could be trying to animate a bone that my model doesn't have in this like mode kind of thing. Like there's a lot that could be happening here, because like just renaming like blend shapes and crap and different like bones and things can change how things work. But so I can bring back, ooh, lost me. I can bring back movement by going from, so I good that it shows the settings here. Like, so, all right, I'm doing upper body right now, which is what we're doing on the lady. The model's movement was so smooth, man. I mean, right, like, was it that different? I don't think the movement is very similar to my own, I think. But I can move if I go full body. But the problem is, like, if I'm just sitting here normally, my arms kind of do some extra stuff, and I'm like kind of floating a little bit. Yeah, my left arm kind of likes to jack it. And I'm like, this kind of does work a little bit, but it's a little jank. I think what I'd have to do if I was gonna do this, oh, it doesn't like me putting my hands on my head. Like the tracking here is kind of interesting. I also can like stand up, but my camera up there for this tracking is kind of pointed down because it was meant to just capture my face. Can you jump? I mean, so the hard thing, I'd need to try and calibrate this so that like on screen I would line up with the couch with something. I was like, I could work on that today, but it's very strange. My camera is not in a good place for this. Also, like I didn't. Oh, if I'm a little far from the face part, the rest of like the bottom half of my model, I never worked on, because I didn't think it was gonna be on screen. But then the pants do something like, look at that weird, like what is going on there? But I can kind of like, if I crouch, like there's some weird potential here, and like, oh. Like there's some weird stuff. Also, it was the other day I was briefly testing this. Oh, the end. It's missing my mouth tracking. My camera is just in a terrible position for this. Just terrible. because I'm like, you can see that like I'm kind of crouching, but because of the angle, it can't like animate my face. It's just not designed for this. But like, and then there's the whole problem of the couch. But you know, like, right, there's some, I'm putting my hands on my hips, but it really looks like I'm just like touching my balls, which is not, oh, there we go. But like, it also feels like I'm like permanently trying to twerk it on camera to throw it back. Oh, my knees can go that direction. Yeah. So there's some, if I walk back far enough, it's not bad, except for it. It's pointed down, so it can't like, why is my head stuck? That's new. It should be, oh, there we go. I kind of have to just like crouch, like how to talk to short people. Hello. Get that script. But then it also like, oh, and look, yeah, my shirt doesn't, you're somehow like seeing my thighs. Yeah, my model is not ready for this. Let's see if I can get myself to flip upside down though. That was really funny. Hey, there it goes. It's not quite as creepy as it was last time. Last time I just inverted the torso and like my head was upside down. Let's see if I can get that to happen. Come on. Ooh, that's new. That looks like I fell. Well, I'm not quite able to replicate what oh, wait. So last time I think what I did was I got too close to the camera. No, that, oh, you dancing. Ooh. That's closer. Oh, I don't like that. So that's also a problem. If the camera loses my tracking data, like if I just stood too close to it or put my hand in front of the camera, it does that to me, which is which might be, come on, yeah, that might be a little bit too much of a downside, honestly, but we'll see. But like sometimes if I'm just sitting like normal, it doesn't, oh, there we go. That's what it was doing before. So like, it kind of looks like I'm like crouching on the couch, which is a little odd, right? Like this is kind of weird. It looks like I'm like giving someone like a pep talk on like a college, or like the sports team. I don't know why I said college. That was weird. Like, but in theory, I was like, well, what I could do is if I reposition this, like maybe it could look normal, because I'm a little like tall here, but like if I, went like that, right? That's almost back to normal, except for it kind of does this thing where I like zoom in and out, and I don't know what this arm is doing. I think it's because, so also an unfortunate side effect is, this camera is off center because my webcam was what was doing the body tracking before. And so this one is, it doesn't get this hand. And so it's, I think it loses the data. So I'd have to, if I slid over here, I think the tracking is more consistent. Oh, lean forward. But so like right there are some interesting options here. I think I probably just go back to the normal stuff, but also the possibility of, it was like, I can kind of lean, which is potentially interesting. Yeah. Some strange things. But I was testing this briefly over the weekend because I was like, this doesn't look too bad. It's a little strange. What's your back leaning for hours? I don't know why it looks like that. Because I'm not, which is funny. I'm sitting as I normally would, and like, no, my back is is perpendicular to the ground right now. I don't know why it thinks it looks like this. I really don't. Because a lot of the tracking is normal. Like if I put my hands up, it immediately straightens me out. Oh, I lost my mouth tracking. So like, I think it's something about like, oh, look at that. Oh. Oh. I think it's something about the arms or something. Yeah, I don't know. Oh yes, get some good glasses I can push up. I need to be a learned person. Unfortunately, my vision is just too good for that. Wear lensless rims. It's also possible that if I change the camera location, it could make things better or worse or different. But I haven't. It works so well for the other stuff. I'm a little conflicted. That's why it's like it would be nice if because like right, if I do the upper body, it's unfortunate that it. I'm like a talking cardboard standee. Yeah. I don't know. It's a little unfortunate. But it is what it is, right? I do feel like I like the oh. I feel like I like the facial tracking on this one, but I don't know. Let's see. Maybe if I switch it back, it'll be a better comparison. Okay. What do I need to switch to? That? Can I do that while I'm not here? Ooh. Tech. Let's see if I just switch this, will I come back? No. Talk. Just a second. Oh, you know what it is? Ooh. Actually, technically the PC version, I just made a hand motion to the camera, but you can't fucking see it. Sorry. I've walked out of the room. Let's call it that. I'm normally sitting on the couch, but I have to walk over to the PC. No, technically the PC software is both the webcam and the animation. And so earlier I had to close the webcam, and so it wasn't animating anything. Well, okay, maybe. Maybe it's not so bad. Yeah, cause see, right, this version lets me do, and this is probably still the best option, is this setup here. But if I wanted to stand on the couch, apparently that is technically an option that I could go with a little bit. And in theory, if I change my setup completely, I might be able to walk around on stream. It's really funny that because I don't what kind of angle is that? I don't know. It's not a super aggressive angle, but the way I could get the thing I have the phone on to sit consistently is it's kind of pointed like towards the ground, and it works for when I'm sitting right here because the image is mostly just my head and my face, which is what it needs to see. But for if I'm standing up, it mostly just gets my like pelvis. Yeah, that was, I thought there was some potential interesting silly. Oh, I was doing all my stuff and I forgot that my Twitch window got minimized, so there was a message from Aurora Lucas 02 that I completely missed. I'm so sorry. I don't know when that was. How long did I miss that chat? Let's see. Oh, it's only been 2 minutes. Let's go. That's actually that was just lucky. If you're still here, I'm sorry I missed your message. Hello, welcome to the couch. I hope you enjoy your stay. Oops. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know if anyone has any thoughts on that as a viewer. I have mixed feelings about the current state of tracking model stuff. I feel like it's at a really good level for the time and money in. There's always room for improvement, always has been, but I think one of the best ways to try and improve though would be to like start over. So what was that? That was the kind of like long distance vertical where he's just like twisting. That was pretty creepy. I got a really great one the first time I saw it where like my torso was up here and backwards and my head was like hanging down and like spinning. You know, like owl heads go 360 question mark, you know, like horizontally. Mine was doing that, but like somersault. It was special. I was trying to get that to do that this time, but looks like I don't know how that happened. Like a fruit. Like juiced like a fruit? I don't I don't know how else that could nightmare feel. It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. Some of the 3D funky stuff can look pretty entertaining. But yeah. So it was kind of some intriguing stuff, like the the potentials there. I think actually, wait, hang on. If I turn on full body now, what happens? Oh, I've gotten so close. Hello. Oh, my hands are not like, because I can kind of do the same thing, I think already. Although I lose face tracking immediately. Oh, I'm so close. What if I block the camera now? Oh, it just didn't do anything. Hi. I'm here to reach you about your extended car warranty. Well, okay, this is stand up again. Oh, where am I going? Oh, can I get my oh, here we go. Yeah, I'm swimming. Swim. So, oh yes. This is exactly what I'm doing in real life if you wanted. Oh my god. I put my leg up and it does not like this. It does. Oh, it's kind of stabilized. No. Oh. It thought the pillow on my bed was me. Okay, well, sorry about that. So the full body tracking is always cursed here. You're welcome. I do think there is a world in which I could use that normally. I don't think my background is particularly suited to it. So that could also be a problem. Good times. Okay. What else did I have on my list of things? The tracking was the main thing. I didn't know how long it would take. I guess I was thinking the facial data was a little bit better. It's pretty similar. I think the mouth movements were a little bit more pronounced in the lower range, which I was liking. One of the things that is cool about the live 2D system stuff is there's a lot of ways to change the like sensitivity of the inputs. And I haven't figured out how to do that very well. I've tried to go into like, you know, use Unity or Blender or something to change the blend shapes, but I think the problem is I need to change the sensitivity of the inputs from tracking software for 3D stuff. But like, the amount I have to open my mouth and smile to get this is obscene. And so a lot of times if I'm even just like gaming over here and it's like it doesn't even look like I'm talking. Ugh. So watching my streams and it's like it doesn't even look very good. Tragic. Struggles life. Oh, sorry about that. Blech. Yeah, I did a little out of the weekend. I don't have a lot of plans for like what I'm doing next streaming wise. I'm trying to figure that out a little bit. Nothing particularly interesting has popped up. Oh, Big Unk Stone is on Twitch now. Also got Twitch now. That's cool for you. Welcome to the couch over there. I'm getting really close to just not streaming on Twitch anymore. If I'm being honest. It doesn't really take that much effort to do at the same time, especially if there's not anyone there. It's basically you know, no sweat extra, but it's just so empty on that side all the time that it's just kind of sad. And it's just like it doesn't change, so it's like I don't even know why I'm doing it. You know, why is like, well, because why not? Because it really doesn't take that much extra anything, but I'm not particularly a fan of it. What's new? But so there was this thing. I don't remember how long ago it was now, but I've played a little bit of World of Warcraft a couple times. I don't think I've ever gone past, you know, like the starting areas, but there've been some free trials, or you know, I think the first part is free to play now, like the critically acclaimed Final Fantasy 14, free up to, you know, level 70 in the first 2 expansions. But I started, there was a group of English-speaking, mostly Twitch streamers, like a year ago, that were playing through classic World of Warcraft hardcore. And I got recommended a lot of that content, and I watched some of it. And then I continually to get drip fed like hardcore death compilations or funny moments and stuff. And it doesn't look that hard. And so recently I've been like, it might be kind of fun to try that. Especially because it seems like the reaction content likes when people don't know anything, and I know nothing. I also kind of want to figure out whether or not it's really that bad. Like, it seems like a lot of people are just making poor judgment calls, and it feels like it wouldn't be that tough to just play safe. But I don't know. I don't know anything. So that I'm debating doing that. Finally see on what I don't know if that game is about. Maybe I don't, because it was I did, you know, my extensive, I don't know if extensive is the right word for me. Playing a Final Fantasy 14, because I do feel like I've seen at least 60% of the core gameplay for Final Fantasy 14. played through all, well, okay. I played through all of the story that was currently available. Main story. And a little bit of the periphery along the main shaft. And so I was like, oh, you know what? The tab targeting MMO, it's got something going for it. So I would be willing to try it out. And also, like, most of the stuff I see for the hardcore is like people just dying in random caves by themselves. So it seems like a lot of that journey is just kind of running around doing quests and leveling. So I kind of think I might want to try it at some point. I haven't looked into, you know, like how that would work at all. But I was thinking about it. I also did think it was funny that one of my friends has been like passively and directly complaining about how little time we spend together, including publicly in front of everyone else. They're like, you know, I kind of wish we'd spend more time together. And I was like, okay, damn, call out. But I don't, and so I sent out some feelers like, hey, anyone want to play, you know, classic hardcore World of Warcraft with me? And everyone was like, nah. And I was like, well, hey, I tried. I tried. I think it's possible that might be a couple too many keywords, but I was thinking it could be kind of fun. The friend who's really into role-play centered things, and I thought World of Warcraft could be an interesting crossover there. But apparently, guess the stream, it could have been. That would be an option. I wasn't gonna, I was planning on streaming a lot of it, but I wasn't planning on making my friends appear on any sort of recorded content unless they wanted to. But I was debating over a couple things, because it was like, if there was enough interest from my friends, I was like, well, maybe I will just play, you know, like an hour or two a week or something, because they have lives. So I was not expecting a, you know, yeah, let's play 7 hours a day, which is what I do. Lure them to one day. Maybe we'll see. I you know, there was a whole breadth of possibilities, because I'm like, I could do some recordings and then, you know, make a video of that separately, or none of the above. But there was almost 0% interest in that. But I was like, you know what? Hey, I feel like at least I was like, hey, this is an activity that I would like to do with people if you would like to. And it was like, nah. So I feel like I put it out there. I'm still thinking of doing that and possibly solo, but we'll see. Yeah. But I was thinking of talking about that a little bit. That's an option. That's an option. That's the only thing I have on the horizon for content wise, other than there's a game that I've been loosely following for a number of years that was maybe gonna come out randomly early access soon. Actually I haven't, let's see. Yeah, so what other games would they play? I bet. So I messaged a weird group chat on Discord that just, it had the right people in it, and I got 2 out of 3 responses. It was a Discord like little group chat that we had used to play Peak one night like half a year ago. So I could get them to play Peak probably at some point. Whoa, where was I going with this? But 2 out of 3 of those people are my Night Rain buddies. So I could get those people to play Night Rain probably. The third person, the last thing I just played Peak with them. I played Lethal Company with them. Actually, and they have guest appeared on the stream. They're the only one who has. They were on a Minecraft stream. If you need to go, if you want to dig through the archives, it did happen. There was another live voice on this stream. It happened. It did happen. But it was, I think it was a single Minecraft stream from probably like December of 2024. That probably. Let's see, because so there was why can't I think? The World Orbis, Hypixel, Hightail, there it is. There was this when is this? Oh, it says the early access for Hightail is supposed to be the 13th of January 2026, which is tomorrow. I did some Minecraft streaming on the channel, and so as far as Minecraft goes, I was really hyped for, there was this game Hightail with some epic trailers that I've been following, and it has been like radio silence from this game for like the past 3 years. But for some reason now it's going into early access tomorrow. So that's definitely on my radar. That could be something. I definitely wanted to try it out and play it for years, but I used to follow this really consistently until the updates just like disappeared. Yeah, because like there was a big gap between like 2021 and then like 2023, and yeah. Monday indeed. Yeah. It's supposed to be like a more RPG Minecraft from the ground up. But we'll see. It was also supposed to have an emphasis on player customization, of not like sort of higher level than in game, where it was like being able to like design new creatures and like mods and stuff. We'll see. Early access release focuses on polished core systems, exploration, responsive combat, and robust building, alongside creative first tools for making your own content, crafting video games, and running community servers. Yeah. Because like, what did they say they haven't done? Because like, is there like a roadmap? Because like, what do they think they didn't do? Yeah, no, it sounded and looked very interesting for many years. But it's been so like radio silence for so long. It's been a little, but apparently that could be tomorrow. I'll have to look into when it looks like it's gonna release and see if, because that could be an option. I would be very interested in trying it. We'll see about that. Another thing I thought I could talk about is there's a lot of anime this season. And I'm watching a decent amount. So I was like, if I wanted to try and stay up to date, oh my god, I opened Crunchyroll and immediately started playing Bye Bye Earth. What a terrible event that was. Because if I wanted to stay a little bit, closer to up to date on my anime list, I was like, doing that right now might not be such a bad idea. Cling, there was a sword effect from Bye Earth. What a show. Okay. Where is my... Where's my list? Gope server is baiting. What, they're like, oh, there's supposed to be new Gope, but then there wasn't? Or ghost with a knife thirst traps? Oh, like art or something? That sounds good. I love art. Art's dope. Oh, I guess normally I have this cropped a little bit. I don't know if that's super important. Boom. Okay. And then where is... What art? I love art so much. I try and practice, but God, art's so hard. Art. Oh. Okay. Look at those biceps. Not sharpening a knife. Oh, I bought myself. That's excellent shading. Those rippling muscles. I bought myself a new knife. I haven't gotten to use it yet. But I do a lot of the like prep cook stuff at home. Well, I don't know, sometimes I do more than that. The weirder he is, the better. Fujoshis, man, they build different. The butterfly hammer, that guy was insane. There was the brief butterfly hammer thing that looked insanely dangerous, and then the yo-yo, those are just the actual bodily harm that could actually crazy. The no, yeah, no, that was oof. Spooky. Some was bandaged. Yeah, okay, although I will say that I watch a decent amount of like woodworking and craftspeople stuff, and a lot of them do just, you know, have a certain number of band-aids on any given time, which in that case, in that situation, does feel like environmental storytelling, but doesn't necessarily mean it was that kind of stuff, but it was pretty funny. A lot of these are gonna be daily life of part-time torturer. I've watched oh, that's not what I meant to do. Episode scene 1. I'm watching score. So this is a show. It's called The Daily Life of a Part-Time Torturer, and it's after one episode, it's kind of really unclear what even kind of show this is, because it's like very slice of life. But the first episode they introduced, like, there was like it was almost like 4 mini episodes, but normally a pilot follows, you know, like one character that'll be like the central main character, but it was like it did 4 separate characters. So it feels like maybe it's a story that's just about this small group of characters interacting with each other, but after 1 episode, it's really hard to tell. It was kind of mid, though, so we'll see. But a lot of these, here we go. Isekai office worker. The other world's books depend on the bean counter. Now that's a succinct title right there. That's what that is. Watching. Also seen 1 episode. This one's like probably like a 6 for now. This is, you know, it's actually not technically your standard like isekai slop, in that this one is like there's a girl being isekai'd on the street, and this guy tries to like rescue her because she's being pulled into a weird portal. And so this is like he's been accidentally isekai'd alongside the main character, but he's just a sad, depressed office worker, and so he's doing accounting in a fantasy world. Also really unclear where that's going. It's a 6 for now because it could be interesting, but so far it's a little bit like it's fine. Where's best anime watch made since something called Zetsubo Sensei? Oh, it popped up for a second, but then it went away. Sacrificial slice of life comedy? Or is this one? Is this a different one with the sayonara? Or black comedy? Oh, you did say something. That's what Sensei. By long intersections with fatalistically undermines his authority and work ethic. Defeatist arguments. Threatening suicide. Oof. Okay. You're like, I didn't watch all of it. Or you're like, well, it's only like 10 minutes. You can get through it fast. Oh, there's another season of My Hero Academia Vigilantes. But I haven't been doing the best of like keeping track of which seasons I watched in here. Okay, then this one, if you haven't heard about this, this is kind of like, I would say dark horse for this anime season, because there are some big boys coming back / came back this season. Vigilantes, pretty up there anime, but also like Jujutsu Kaisen's coming back. I watched the first 1 or 2 episodes of that. Free Ren, I think, is supposed to be coming back. Everyone's talking about MF Ghost. No, just kidding. What else? There's some good stuff. I think Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh, the Fire Force. Trigun. That's my. Oh yeah, Hell's Paradise. There's a lot. There's some heavy hitters coming here. I don't think Free Ren has come back just yet. But this show called Sentenced to Be a Hero, came out of nowhere. I hadn't heard about this until last week when the first episode came out. And the first episode came out and it's an hour long. And it's a 10 right now. Like so the show came out and I saw a tweet that it was from someone who was like, no, I can't watch more anime. I'm already watching. And then they had like 3 shows and it was like, what? But I guess it's someone who really had a busy life and they don't have time to watch anime. And they're like, no, I don't have time. I'm already watching Jujutsu Kaisen and Free Ren. And I don't remember what else I said. But, and so I was like, okay, so they're hyping that, but they're also only watching, yeah, and I'm assuming it's like in a week I don't know. I don't know what that tweet was going on. So part of me was like, okay, so this person is clearly hyping this new anime, but there's a number of reasons that I can't quite tell if this is something I should trust, because number one, it doesn't seem like they're watching a lot of stuff, and also they're not like, oh no, a third cake, no, 4 more cakes. I'm not, but then also that they're kind of only watching the super mainstream stuff, which isn't necessarily bad, because a lot of times the super mainstream stuff these days is normally pretty good. Like everyone, glazing Free Ren, understandable, that show is goated. So like, it's okay if you're just watching the good stuff, because a lot of times that can be true. But yeah, no, but then Moist Critical did a video on it, and he was like, it's something special. And then I stopped watching the rest of his video because I didn't want to, he was going to get into like some spoilers. I'm like, I'll just watch it. And it's really good so far. Other than the main character's name is sort of borderline catastrophically bad. Like, I mean, okay, his first name I think will grow probably on me, but his name is fucking Xylo Forbarts. It's so bad. He's so cool though. It's crazy. It's actually, it's only been 1 episode, but it was an hour long. Also, yeah, there was no opening and no ending. They didn't have enough time. It was only an hour long. So hopefully those are bangers. Maybe it won't even have them. I don't know. There's a lot of questions about this. What? Yeah. Xylo is kind of cool. It feels a little bit more like D&D character name, where you're like, that's like kind of a little over the top. But 4 Barts, like, what the fuck is that, dude? That's too many Barts. 3 Barts I can handle, but 4? I don't know. But it's actually really good so far. The first episode is crazy. I would, as of now, I would highly recommend checking it out. But, it is only been 1 episode, so I don't know. Gentle Noble's vacation recommendation. Oh, fuck, I keep doing that. I keep clicking on it. This show is weird. Oh, 6.5 so far. That seems a little high for 1 episode. Cause I've seen 1 episode. It's 6 point. Dude, what? It 6 is okay. Higher than a 6? I for 1 episode. But now should I go ahead and check some of the scores of these other shows? Dude, what are people grading these on? Right? 6 fine, 7 good, 8 very good, great and masterpiece. Dude, what? I didn't think it was bad, but like as a pilot goes, it was pretty weird. This is like, I think this guy, I think the plot of this is there's a guy who's been like side isekai'd. Normally you go like modern world fantasy. I think this guy went from fantasy to fantasy, but the main character is fucking weird. He is just like a weird guy. Wait, what? It's like, what is, can I sort them by progress? No. Or maybe if I go the other way. Oh, this dropped. Oh, there we go. Oh, I could finish those. Wait, no, green? Where are the ones I just added? Oh, this did not search it. Sentence meter got 8.5. That's probably pretty deserved so far. On this one I just looked at 6.75. That's way too high. 7. Sorry. Ooh, 5.6. Now this one's much more accurately rated. So I guess I think the animation quality is probably a little bit higher for both of these shows. I don't think that would be like, these two ones are definitely a little bit higher quality production wise than this torturer one, but like, right, I did 5.66, right? So I am rating them a little bit higher, but I don't know. So I don't know if this is too much of a read, but I kind of feel like maybe our people are just rating shows based on how pretty they find the guys in it, in this case. And I guess to each their own rating wise, but I would like to think there's a little bit more, especially in shows that have like plot. But okay, I think all of these are basically around the same score. It's a little crazy to me that these have such higher ratings, but whatever. I actually did finish these. Okay, so let's play is completed. I think I think 4 stands. Gather's Adventure Guy is also completed. That was bad. God, okay, so the assassin one is really unfortunate. The assassin show, it did start good. It unfortunately, I could even go as low as a 5. I think 6 is okay. It started as and I don't remember exactly what I said last time, but I think the first 2 episodes I might have given it like an 8 or a 9, but when I was rating it, it had started to dip a little bit, and so I think I gave it a 7. It was like, it might go lower, and it does indeed go lower. The end was just not, the second half of the show was just not good. I don't know where it went wrong, but it was mid to low tier at the end, but it had good moments, so I'll still give it a 6. It was fine. The opening had a banging opening. Did finish Monster Wants to Eat Me. Did complete that. I think I'll give it a 6. I did like some of the themes and stuff, but it was kind of weird. But Yuri ? There was a kiss at one point, so a little bit of girls love. Someone that was good. Yeah, I mean, from this list, Gachi Akata is a good one. Gachi Akata was good. Although I think this second, or was it? Oh, is this still the first season? I think maybe, okay. So Gachiakate was really interesting. I think maybe this first season was 24 episodes. The first 12 were really good. The second 12 were, or is it still airing? Didn't we just get a new opening? Gachiakate is an interesting one. It's good, but it has some ups and downs, but it's just really, it's very entertaining. It is definitely a step above. This may I ask one final thing was also, it was fun and good. I'll probably just give it a 7. But that one's kind of, it's romance, but the lady punch is basically the premise for that. I like that. Togen Anki. Oh, yeah, I'll give that a 4. It was bad. I think a lot of these ones I talked about already, and Tales of Wedding Rings, classic. It's is it 7 worthy? And if I click that, will it? No, 6.4. That's surprising. I think 6 is fine. Tales of Wedding Rings is kind of good. It's very entertaining, but more from like a meta level, because the show is wild. It's so confusing. But Gachiakate is actually just like a really good show. Is there anything else that hasn't been rated yet? I don't think so. Because if I reload this, will it mark those? Yeah, okay, cool. Oh, now the watching are at the top. Yeah, this is good. And I think there were from I think there were more good ones from last season, but I think some of those I was able to give complete scores last time. But I mean, like, so far Sandy's Be Heroes looking pretty juicy. But some of the recent anime seasons had been a little more on the mid side. Let's see. Oh, this one's okay, so this one's called Journal with Witch. And the title's a little odd in English, but we'll go for it. Yeah, the different country diary, foreign country diary, but for some reason the official title is Journal with Witch. I don't know why. This one could be good. The first episode, like, the interesting thing is when the pilots are like not super hooky, it's like, I think that's like definitely means something. Like a lot of the other pilots this season, like this one had a good, interesting first episode, like, which makes me interested to see what happens. Yeah, wait, because so all 3 of these ones, that's, you know, double isekai and then a slice of life, all 3 of these ones, their first episodes were not strong. So seeing people give this like series so far scores higher than like a 5 or a 6 is fucking bizarre to me, because like I mean, I guess some people must have liked those episodes, but they were like not anything. Not to be like rude, because the show still could be good, but like I think if your first episode isn't like, oh, I want to watch the next one, then like it's kind of failed a little bit. But I'm still gonna try it. But maybe I'm just too objective, question mark. Okay. Tamon's B-side. Oh shit. Well, here's a picture. 7.9. That. Sorry. Oh my! I need to stop clicking these and seeing the user scores, because that's. This one so far is pretty good. I definitely want to watch more of it, which is good. I'll give it an 8 for now. I think I've seen 2 episodes. this 8 could be kind of high. Oh, the average score did say 7.9. Well, maybe we'll give it a conservative 7. This one is closer to being like well, maybe I should have complained. This one's pretty cute so far. It's a little premise a little bit, you know, a little far-fetched or whatever, but it's basically like, you know, there's a idol boy band and there's someone who she's one of them really hard, and she ends up like, what? She's the housekeeper, and she is assigned to go clean his apartment, and they meet, and he's like not like he is on stage. What? And I think it's gonna be like a romance, but it's pretty cute and it's pretty funny so far, so I definitely would watch more, and I'm interested to see what happens, which is kind of what the start of a show is supposed to be. So that's a thumbs up so far. I could there's another season of MF Ghost right now. I'm not super doing the like new seasons of stuff, so I'm just gonna leave that. Okay, this one's really funny. Not in a good way yet though. So this one's called The Invisible Man and his soon to be wife, which is crazy title, because so this is is slice of life good? It's definitely not like action, but like what the fuck, the title? So I'm assuming this is going to be one contained 12 episode series, but like in the first episode they're meeting, right? Like we're getting this romance sort of from the beginning, but yet the title is like they're gonna get married. So it's the vibes are weird immediately, because it is supposed to be, I think, a funny slice of life romance, but like also so the guy is invisible. It's an invisible man, right? Like he's basically like, if I click on oh, it doesn't have a picture. Oh no, there it is. Like, so if you, is this showing up correctly on stream? Yeah, right. So this is the guy. So it's just this outfit. Like you can't see his head or his hand. He's invisible. And then there's this lady here who's like just a cat person. She's like a beast person. So the world building in this show was so distracting for me. Because like, student of war, hello, welcome back to the couch. I hope you enjoy your stay. What's the lore for that? God, I wish I could tell you. God, I wish I could tell you. I don't know. So clearly this world just like in the starting scene, is people, or like the opening or something, is so this world is full of creatures. Like there's there's like a centaur deer woman. I can't remember if it's the opening or like opening scene, but like there's this like beast person. They run a detective agency. In the first episode, they run a detective agency, and the clients in the first episode that are kind of like the B plot are like, there's like these big purple ogre people. They're aliens that show up and they're like, we're 80,000 years old, and it's like, what? They're like, they do not address it at all, not even a little bit. So the world building is like, what? So clearly there's a lot of unique people. But like, is it hereditary, or is it like, are they races of people? Like, does the Invisible Man come from an invisible family? I don't know. Is this like My Hero, or is it like people just quirked up? Like sometimes the people are born and they're just weird. And so then the main like heroine is she's blind. And it is also like, is she just a regular person, but blind, or is she like magic blind? I don't know. Generic mixed fantasy, kind of. It's almost like a little Gintama-y, except for like it seems like maybe regular human people is like a minority. I can't tell. It's so weird. Magical backfire. Well, so there's no magic as yet. But like, is she like a family of blind people, or is she just like normal blind? I don't know. But the premise of the show, the cute part, is supposed to be that, right? So he's an invisible guy, and he's a detective, and he can turn his clothes invisible too. Like he can be like full invisible. But I think being regular visible is not an option. I think his body is just always invisible. But she can always hear / smell, sense where he is, because she doesn't see, so she knows where he's at. And so I think the cute thing over time is going to be like, she sees him more than other people do, kind of. And so it's like, it could be kind of cute, but we'll see. But I'm just so distracted by like the world building questions that I often I'm not paying a super lot of attention to like the actual plot and stuff. But so far the first episode was decently cute. So I'll give it a good so far, but we'll see. It's very early. Have I watched 2 episodes or just 1? I think it's just 1. Stuck in my old school anime. I see. Wait. And what does that mean? Is that like I just watch, my 1200 episodes of One Piece and Bleach, or like I just watch Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho on repeat, or like is old school now? Like, I'm sure kids these days would say that like Tokyo Ghoul and Death Note are probably old school to kids. So I'm like, where are we falling on that? I'll probably because like, is old school like Akira and the original like what's Crybaby Demon Boy Crybaby Demon what Devil Man. The devil's a man, the Cry is a baby. There. Trigun Cowboy Bebop. Okay, there's the new Trigun that's coming back this season. I haven't seen the original. I have seen Cowboy Bebop twice. A lot of people really do like their Cowboy Bebop. I liked it less the second time. I think. A lot of people really do love it though. I like the characters. I feel like as a show, I remembered there being more plot when I was younger. Original's better. I'm assuming you're talking about Trigun. Never seen Cowboy Bebop. I don't know whether or not I would recommend it to you. You could like it. It's possible. Old Trigun was so good. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I have watched the first season of the new Trigun, and I'm watching the second season right now. But we'll see. I have heard of Samurai Champloo. Samurai Champloo. There's the new season of Jujutsu Kaisen, watching that. New season of Fire Force, watching that. There's Trigun Stampede. Oh, this one's probably gonna be a super midder. Gungrave. I do know his name. So this show dead account. Let's see, is there a picture? 6.58. Ain't no way, bro. Who's smoking crack on that? Sorry. It's not. So we've entered a sort of era right now that I would there are some shows coming out that I would describe as like, sorry, I just got a little distracted by the Viagra ad. Thank you, my anime list. There are a lot of shows right now that are like Jujutsu Kaisen copycats. And so far I've watched 2 and they're both not good. This dead account is definitely another one. The interesting thing is that the premise of this show is that you're like, ghosts always inhabit and haunt places that have, you know, high spiritual and, you know, ties and sentimentality to people and dead people and stuff, right? That's the premise, is that, you know, they haunt places they died or lived or people they loved and all good. My Hero started off good. Yes. And Vigilantes is also very good. Is the implication that My Hero got bad for you, or that you like just liked the beginning? I've only watched the first 2 or 3 seasons. I read the manga up through, I don't know which season it is live. I think the anime has gone past where I've read or had read. I have heard almost all exclusively good things. I mean, it's probably only like an 8 or a 9 out of 10 what I would rate it, but second season threw it off, but came back pretty good. I don't really like Deku as a character or like as a person, but I like the rest of the show. And I think, you know, sometimes having, you know, your little green shorts hunter main character is just something you gotta have. But I would definitely, the Jujutsu Kaisen and Jujutsu Kaisen likes are like the edgy shonen, and so I would put that in a you know, different category. And at least this one is has phone ghosts. It's digital ghosts, which is a neat concept, but it seems kind of corny conceptually as well so far. So we'll see how this one turns out. It's not nearly as annoying as Togen Anki so far, so I'll give it a 5 for episode 1. That could go down or it could go up. I'm assuming the show is going to be like a 5 or a 6 in total, which is definitely better than Togen Anki for me. But despite the difference they're trying to make conceptually with like the digital ghost things goes, it still feels so Jujutsu Kaisen that I'm like, are we really like, but we'll see. Dead account one, that one's interesting. That kind of sucks. Yeah, he's kind of boring. But we'll see. Oh my, and I talked about Hanakimi a little bit. I think, and I keep checking in with my sister as we're watching this and trying to ask questions and stuff, and it seems like the verdict is that the times have changed. And that this is an OG story for, you know, your reverse harem-y, you know, kind of comedy shtick. But that it's funny that I'm sitting here on my first watch, and with the manga, I think you also mentioned talking about, I think you were the one who mentioned a live action, or had I just seen that online? I know you had recognized it when I talked about it before, and that maybe I just saw people talking about there was a live action as well. But I'm reacting to it, and my sister is being like, yeah, I see where you're coming from. I remember this being more normal, but like the premise is I would argue nearly rancid. For vibes for me. And there's like this, like it's like the main like sidekick friend it's a classic gag, like, oh, he thinks he's gay because he's falling in love with this dude who's actually a girl, and he's like, why do I like this guy so much? Oh shit, am I gay? But I feel so bad for him, because in this one it feels so much more like, the intention is so important to me when there are so many things where like, pretend to, like, they mistakenly think they're a guy, or they have to pretend they're a guy for XX reasons, or, you know, insert whatever. But this is her plan. This freakazoid is stalking this guy, and she is pretending to be a guy, and she is catfishing this poor accidentally, this poor sidekick guy who's just a nice dude. And then for some reason, the main guy who finds out she's lying, he doesn't know she's stalking him yet, but he doesn't like her, but he's falling in love with her. Like, what? It doesn't make and then his friend is like, you need to back off, you don't know this guy. And then the main character has the audacity to be like, no, you don't know this guy. I've been stalking him really hard for the last year, and I moved countries to live in the same room as him. You back off. And it's like, whoa, no, I think you're the problem. I don't know. The age before catfishing. She is just a mountain of red flags. Like, she needs to be arrested. She's committing crimes. I don't know. It's crazy. It is disturbing. And I'm so stuck in it. Because also, I don't know why this is the premise. Because they could have just had a different premise. Like, right, if you cut off like the first half of the first episode, and it's just like, what if you just start and you're like, oh, or have a different reason they're there. Like, because you could just have her not be a stalker. You could just have her like, it seems like it would be so easy. It seems like they're like, yeah, but we want it to be like this. And it's like, that's freaky. I don't know. So I'm a little distracted by that. I'm watching it, and right now it doesn't show my hovering. I'm hovering between like a 5 and a 4. So far, for my personally, it's a 4 for me. I think based on just the show so far, it's probably like a 5 or a 6 for like your average person. But right now, I am just so stuck in, like, it just is, it is very creepy, disturbing for me so far, because I can't take it like a silly, lighthearted romantic comedy, because like there is some serious effed up stuff behind the scenes. Like, she is not okay. And I don't think it's gonna be addressed. And it was funny, my sister was like, you kind of just forget that that's the premise. And I'm like, I can't. That's creepy. She is a problem. And I think it's like I think ideally in situations like this, especially like I'm not gonna ever be able to like self-insert this kind of show because I don't identify with being a girl, and I also don't want a bunch of guys to fall in love with me. But I still think that, well, what? For this kind of show, I need to connect with the character in some way and be like, I want her to end up with a good guy or something, or just like be invested in the relationships. But I right now don't like her. I would love for her to be arrested in canon, which is not a good place to be for this kind of show, I feel like. So that's that. Let's see. You and I are polar opposites. Now we're entering this. So, a lot of slice of life romance shows this season that I'm also watching that are going really fast. She isn't a threat. I can empathize and you read for it for sure. But like, whether or not she's threatening, the level of stalking that's happening here is like almost as high as it goes, right? Like flying to a different country to see someone is one thing. Going to the same school as them and pretending to be a guy is a whole nother thing. And then like being roommates with them and being like, oh, this is okay, I will let this happen, is like criminal. I can't imagine this is not an actual crime. But because like, and this was not like I mean, the roommate thing was like, oh my god, I can't put, it's just so lucky. But like, the rest of it was planned, right? This was, it wasn't like, I just moved to Japan and we happen to be going to the same school. As far as I can tell, they were like, I want to go there and jump with him. I will move countries. I will join the school he's in so that we can be near each other. And it's like, no. I don't know. I just can't. I'm like, whether or not she is actually a physical or mental threat to these people is irrelevant. Her motives to me are just reprehensible. I mean, well, I don't think it's bad to be like, oh my god, what if I moved there and like that's like fine to think that, but like doing it, I don't know. But so there's a lot of slice of life shows this season that are progressing so fast. Like the one that, you know, is like the detective and his soon-to-be wife. Obviously, they're on a trajectory to like get married or something by the end of the season. So it moving pretty quickly makes sense, question mark. But there are two other shows that are like, you know, the slice of life romance. They're like in high school or something. I think probably. But like this one, where the polar opposites, there was a scene like 2/3 through. I don't know. Should I spoil it? But there is. Let me tell you. I shouted. It was crazy. Like, this is it starts off like one-sided, you know, love story kind of thing. It's like, we're just so different. And then there's hand holding. It was crazy. Hand holding episode 1 out of nowhere. It was nuts. It's like a shonen where there's like bodily harm to the main character. Episode 1, they get like an arm chopped off, and you're like, what? Or I don't like. It's It had me shook. It was nuts. A lot of shows have aged badly, unfortunately. Well, this is a new show. I get the story has aged poorly, but I feel like they, and it, like if they update it, I'm sure people are like, this is not a faithful adaptation. But oh wait, what rating that one? Live action watch. Long Vacation. I don't live action. I've watched. I watch live action with my family, and I watched some live action shows in college. King's Avatar. I love that show. But they hold hands in this episode 1. Spoiler alert. They hold hands. It's crazy. And then she she confesses. I think they might like be dating at the end of episode 1. Like, we'll see. So this show might just be like, what if they're in a cute relationship? So we'll see. But came out of nowhere. So far, very cute. I like that one. I'll give that an 8. I love it. It's good. Wait, hang on. What does Hana Kimi have so far? Seven. Yeah, I don't know about that, but okay. Usaga drop. Oh, DILF. 30-year-old bachelor Daikichi, who decides to raise his grandfather's illegitimate 6-year-old daughter after his family abandons her. Oh geez. I mean, I do love surprise DILF raising a girl. That's a classic. That's a classic trope. I do love that. Oh, the manga has a 10-year time skip, but the live action and anime do not depict this revolution. Oh no, I didn't read that. Yeah, I can see why. If you hadn't have said just don't look at how the series ends, I would have glanced right by that. I saw that there was the 10-year stuff. I just didn't. Yeah, that. That reminds me of there is. Oh, I don't remember what the anime is called. Is it in here somewhere? It might be. It's. Where? Oh god. It's about like this like high school girl who's like couch surfing. And I really didn't like the idea that she was gonna get together with this adult man and he had so many green flag women around him, women his age, women older, and it was like no, not this weird high school girl, no, and because she's like, a lot of times it's like the girl is into the guy, and it's like, okay, but dude, you gotta not, no, don't do it, and it was like he was helping mature her, where it was like, helping her move past some difficult stuff, but it was like, but this is, make it one-sided, please. Where, did I, is it in, Is it in my list somewhere? One with the restaurant and she had a running injury. I don't think that's... I don't think I've seen that one. Sunny boy. Sword of the Stranger. God of High School? No. I feel like it had high school in it though. Shinda Shinyaku Mashinda. What I probably should do is search by score and then go to like towards the bottom. Would probably be better. Well, I don't even know if I want to Google this though, where it's like I don't know how to look I don't know how to look that up. I'm just not gonna think about it. High school girl romance anime, yeah. Or like, wait, is it like Runaway? Oh my god! Oh my god! That's crazy. So actually, so I googled Runaway. Oh, if you Google Runaway girl anime or like it comes up. I mean, it's this Hige Hero. Yeah, after being rejected, I shaved and took in a high school runaway. Ugh. It wasn't a bad show. Do I have it in here? Oh, there it is. Oh, I gave it a 7 because the show, it wasn't a bad show, and it just kind of, you know, it ends a little, you know, ambiguously, right? It's like, but she's still into him. But look at, he's got 2 office ladies. Go about. Sorry. You don't like that? Oh, what, like this one? She tries to sleep with him a lot. Yeah, where was that? I feel like there was him like rejecting her. Where'd that go? Oh, yeah. He's like, stop, girl, stop. What are you doing? Stop. Which was healthy for her, but then she's like, he doesn't want to sleep with me. Oh my god! And it's like, no, it's just so like, oh, look at her. Sorry. And like, like this lady is constantly asking him on dates. I didn't particularly like her character, but as far as like just like an adult woman who wants to be in a relationship with the regular man, that's like great. And then like I think she like a boss or something. Yeah, and then 2 high school girls. I try my best in my head that like they clearly have at some point a positive relationship in which he helps like raise her a little bit, but she also definitely likes him, and at some points it's like, does he? And it's like, no, let's just not think about that. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, and then another one in the clear moonlit dusk. This one's like, what if two hot characters got together after the rain? Oh. Uh-oh, yeah. High school student working part-time in a family restaurant who starts falling in love with the manager. 45-year-old divorcee with a young son. Akira struggles to determine why she's falling for Masumi and whether or not to reveal her feelings to him. That is quite the gap. I guess it kind of depends on how they go about that. Because I feel like she reminds me a lot of like Komi-san. I feel like, you know, a lot of those stories are like, okay, that's like, it is, I don't think it's abnormal for young people to sometimes develop feelings for, yeah, it can be very wholesome. Sometimes though, I feel like the shows lean a little bit in the wrong direction. It's like, uh-oh, no-oh. That's why I was complaining about the, there's the game center, like it's, what's it called, cultural exchange with a game center girl or something, and it's like, no, she's a child. No, at least technically their age gap wasn't that bad, but they were both so much younger that it's like, person look very sus. Yeah, well, it's like, because I think he was probably only like 20 or 30 or something, and so sometimes it's like when they make the age gap not that weird or not that big, it's like concerning whether or not you're supposed to think that could be okay. And like the guy was a lot of times was like explicitly like, no, this is, you know, right, but it was like sometimes it was sometimes people around him were like, well, I mean, it could be okay, and then he's like, really? And it's like, no. So I remember it being a little concerning, but this one's like, there's a really like masculine lady, but everyone thinks she's just like a really beautiful boy, and so they call her prince. But then there's another guy that they also call Prince, and they go to the same high school now. And then the guy is like, "Oh, is you so beautiful, girl?" And he's like, really hitting on her. He like carries her in the first episode, so he is all in, which is moving pretty quickly. But we'll see. Student teacher gap gets romanticized. Yeah. You know, I haven't seen Domestic Girlfriend, but yeah, there are definitely some anime about that for sure. And like, I don't know how much of a self-report to go for. No, it's just like, yeah, no, we're just gonna stop there. But yeah, no, definitely that do be a thing. But yeah, those are all the old yaoi boys were pretty problematic. Classic. Very coercion. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. Very age gap. Much well. Old yaoi businessman. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with like
certain tropes, if you're, because like if you're not watching it for, you know, like real life immersion and things, I just feel like because it's kind of like, I feel like a lot of times, depending on what genre it is, you know, it's kind of different, where like I haven't read 50 Shades of Grey, but while technically it would be categorized as like probably some sort of romance, you wouldn't put it in the same category, I feel like, as like a Jane Austen, where it's like you've got your romance and you've got your romance. And so in the same ways, it's like, if you want to have someone who's pretending to be a guy at a school stalking and stuff, but it's like for romance, that's like okay. But if you're doing a show that's like, we're gonna have plot and stuff, and then you have the weird dubious stuff too, it's like, you know, because I'm not saying that your like age gap stuff isn't okay in some sort of media, but when it's the more like supposed to be grounded and relationship based, I'm not so good with that. Or not relationship based, where does this make sense? Because like, I think that's the reasons that I would give some of the shows lower scores. Like, it's kind of thing where like, let's see, a good example is like your SAO. Like, if a show is locked in for a genre and delivers on that, whether or not it's cringe to like other people is sort of irrelevant, right? Where it's like, if you have your most dubious your dead dove kind of show, but if it gives off that vibes from the start and you are watching it because you know it's going to deliver on that, then it's good, right? Long Vacation. I mean, if it's live action, the answer is probably no. Yeah, I would be willing to bet money that it's no. I could lose money on that. It's possible, but I'd be pretty confident. I'd be pretty confident. But yeah, it's like, because I feel like it would be pretty easy for me to come across, especially when I'm talking about like the Hanakimi as being like, or and like this Hige hero thing being like, I'm like, I think having societally unacceptable plot lines isn't bad, especially if it's like preference wise, where like, I like watching shows about teachers or like, you know, this 50-year-old yaoi businessman and the new 20-year-old guy working at the office. Like, I'm not gonna, if that is what the premise is and you go in wanting that like that and they execute well, that's totally good and fine, and I would even be willing to watch it if I thought it was gonna be good. But like, if you start a show that's like, I'm just a, you know, guy working in an office, and then they kind of like start insinuating that could be a plot line, I'm like, whoa, what is happening here? You know, right? I don't know. I feel like intentions to me are very important. It's almost like a kind of like a consent thing where I'm like, if I know what I'm getting into, I'm okay with it. But if suddenly you're like, this show is about this high school girl, and then it's like, yep, okay, he's telling her no, and the show's like, but what if it was okay? And it's like, no, what are you doing? No, stop. But I guess you could probably argue that it's like, well, maybe you just didn't know what kind of show it was, and that doesn't change the reality. But I don't know, maybe that's not based, maybe that's cringe. Maybe that take is not well cultured. Mayhaps. Mayhap indeed. I think that's most of the talking points and things I had for today. I went through the tracking. I talked about video games on the horizon. Went through the anime. That was all things that I think I had thought of beforehand. Oh, I guess the art is always an option. Yeah. And it wouldn't be too terrible to end somewhat early today. Going to the dentist. Let's go. I've also been art, yes. The downside to the art though is tapping ASMR. You will ain't no way you'll be able to guess what this is. This little twing. Wow, yeah, that's a good hint. I'm hitting the mic with it. What is this plastic thing? So my oh, here, I'll hold it up for you. Here it is. I don't have my and the cords on the completely unplugged on the ground. I don't have any this isn't even my ASMR. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And that's also in the closet. Wow, so clear. Ooh. Yeah. I mean, anything I rub on the mic will make that noise. I can pick a pencil and be like, is that this? Well, yeah, no, that's it. They're indistinguishable. I don't have the art set up at all. I would have to get on the ground and plug some stuff in, which wouldn't take that long, but it is a little bit of a barrier. I need my HDMI cable, as well as, well, yeah. Whisper stream into that. Yeah, I had definitely considered it in the past. I think my biggest I think one of the biggest reasons I'm trying to think of like the right words for that, because it's not like apprehension or like qualms or no there's a word I'm looking for, but I find it. But it's like one of my biggest, like, reasoning is close, but sleep order pill for it. True. Reservation is definitely also close, and sorry, you know, it's like reasons I would be reticent. Is like I don't, well, you know, being like niching for content is often a really good idea if you're going for success. But in the same way, if you start like, it's kind of an excuse not to try something sometimes, I think. But like, I also know that if you try something kind of specific, it can also have the opposite effect. And like, you are clearly a very active member long-term wise, which is great. And so doing things that would like right now, I think probably like 100% of my viewer base would be happy. Like, right, like if like literally right now, if people watching and suggesting, following a suggestion that I'm not opposed to doing, sounds like a good idea. But I think in my head it's like, well, if I was I'm like, if I was doing like whisper stuff and then like Gurdan or Nico showed up and they're like, what the fuck is this? And they're like, I'm not coming back. No, that's probably not super accurate, but like, sometimes in my head, I'm like, well, I want to do something that is still like, as far as paths go, like, cause I was doing some of the ASMR a while ago and then it was like, it was completely disparate from, it was like, I think at one point I was doing some ASMR stuff and you like, I think Gurdan, I think if I'm remembering correctly, stopped by or maybe it was Xeon or someone and they were like, whoa, this is weird. Yeah, I'm not really here for that. Have fun, bye. And I was like, ooh, where like, I'm not opposed to doing, you know, what I want on stream, but like, if I'm doing something that in no way appeals to like, a portion of people that might stop by, it's not generally what I'm looking for, but one thing is when you're reviewing by means finally leave it off. Well, I like the idea of it. I just think the rest of my content isn't quite close enough. And doing it sometime like every once in a while, I think would be kind of fun, but a lot of times I feel like I haven't gotten far enough to even try and do like, because ideally it would be the kind of like scheduled thing where I'd be like, oh, next week I'm gonna do this thing. If you know, if you like when I do the ASMR stuff, make sure you stop by on Thursday. And if you don't, then maybe, you know, maybe aim to try and stop by more like Tuesday when I'm playing Dark Souls or something. But there's just, I don't have that inertia or momentum content wise, whether like production line or audience, you know. I don't know if this makes any sense. But that's what it is in my head. And like, because I think, you know, doing things that people ask for is a pretty good way of giving people what they want. And I have responses in my head to that. And maybe this is just one of the many reasons with which I'm finding hard times growing, because I'm just like not giving the people what they want. Quite a complex situation I have put myself in for content creation. Considering that sort of themed day for a specific game, especially one you like playing but could play once a week comfortably. Yeah, so I think actually, I believe on Twitch, there's like a schedule section. And on my schedule section, I do believe Friday is called Final Fantasy Friday. Final Fantasy 14 Friday. FFFFF. Final Fantasy 14 Friday. Just 4 Fs. And I did that for a bit. The problem is that I just as a person don't appear to be that consistent on a game title basis. And so I think the next immediate response will be like, well, why don't you have like a Souls like Thursday? I don't Souls like Sunday, except for I don't stream on Sundays anymore. Or like FromSoft Friday. But unfortunately, even if you went as broad as like a Souls category, like right now, if you were like, if I was gonna play a Souls game, I would probably go Dark Souls 3. But once I'm done with Dark Souls 3, like I just played Dark Souls 2, after I finish Dark Souls 3, if there's not a new Souls-like title that catches my eye right now, I am not like I started playing Dark Souls 2 because my Souls-like wanting play meter was really high, and Dark Souls 2 was also high. But like, because right, and FromSoft Friday is even a smaller subset of like Souls-like. And like right now, I could probably go a couple Fridays for FromSoft Friday. But once I finish Dark Souls 3, I might be a little hard pressed for my internal motivation meter for FromSoft Friday. Because like right now, I think, you know, one of the things that is kind of interesting is like I would do like a bow playthrough of Elden Ring because Iron Eye's fun, even though that's not how Elden Ring works. Or I would try you know, like magic playthroughs in something like Dark Souls 2 or 3 or 1 because I haven't done that. But I don't, since I already just did a bunch, it's like I don't think I could commit to that consistency, you know? Momo Yarozu, hello, welcome to the couch. We got a My Hero character in the house. Momo, welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay. But yeah, Souls like Friday. But then even there, it's like there aren't really any Souls likes on my radar that I'm looking to play like right now. I have played a lot historically, but because like, you know, there's your Lies of P, Lords of the Fallen, Kazan the First Berserker, what else? There's more, but like it's not consistent enough, you know? Look so see, I'm assuming that's cute. Thank you. Just in case we were like unclear though, I am a dude, just in case. But if you, message retracted. I can be cute if you want me to. No, I'm okay with that. But just hoping that that's what you're looking for as well. Survival games you like? That's also a hard one because like I'll go through a phase where I want to play a new one. There are a bunch because that genre popped up and immediately slopped up. And there's even one that's been on my radar a little bit that's called like what's it called? It's like a necromancer or something. Oh, Be My Horde is kind of like a survivor like thing that's on my list. That's like $5, but I also don't know. I mean, and I play Soulstone Survivors all the time, so in theory that could be something I could play when that's at least once or twice I've played that after a stream ended really early and I was like, what can I do? I'm like, I can play that. But I think sometimes I get bored of some things quickly, so I keep it fresh. I think it's because for some reason my primary play style is either super consistent low time input or very high intensity high time input short span. And by short span, it's also very much related to the game's content. Like I would say that my blitz through Final Fantasy 14 counts, even though I played for like 4 months straight. After that, I was like, and I'm done for a year, basically. And like, right, it's like I played Monster Hunter Wilds for like a month, and then I'm done. I moved to something else. But like, the games that I play super consistently are like my daily gacha grind games. Like I play AFK Arena and Nikke every single day. But I think if I started trying to stream those for any amount more than like half an hour, I think then I would stop playing them for a while. Which is, it's a, you know, sometimes the streaming stuff is kind of interesting to learn about my own like habits and stuff. Like to finish games. Yeah. Subscribe to me. Thank you so much. I hope I continue to deliver content that you enjoy. Every subscription means a lot to me. I've been trying to get to 500 for a while now. So thank you so much. I'm glad you thought that you would like to do that, and I hope it works out. But yeah, I do like to finish games and like 100% them if I really enjoy it. And then once I do that, I'm like, and then I'm done. Which is not super conducive to the playing lots of things. when I was younger, I used to do the kind of thing where, you know, I would keep replaying games over and over and over again and trying different stuff for just limitless replayability. But for some reason, I don't operate like that anymore. Which is not super conducive or helpful for like consistently playing one title, unfortunately. Which is definitely part of the reason that I think I'm finding it so hard to grow as a community or a content creator, streamer, because like one of the best ways to do that is like if I played League of Legends every day for 3 years, if I had committed to that, I probably would have better numbers now. You know, you never know if that's true, but like the more consistent you are about something, the more you can logically build a cohesive community and like viewer base. And so having days like that would be also help more consistency. I think so. I could do that. Like that's part of the reason with the whole like content creator thing that I sometimes kind of find really annoying is because I could do that. I could force myself to do any number of things. Like I feel like if we're talking about like a stat sheet, my willpower stat is pretty high. I could get myself to do something like that. I could do it for a pretty long time probably, but I know that it would have a negative impact on like work-life balance for sure. But also I think how I would view the content creation itself, because I could view this more as a job and as a vehicle. I'd be like, people want me to produce this. I could do that. But I think as soon as I take a step down that like road or flip that switch, I've stepped onto the gamification of the content creation sphere. And I just abhor that as a person. Makes you hate the thing in the end. That's no good. And I feel like there are tons of maybe, I don't know, maybe this is because I would struggle with this and I'm like projecting or whatever, but I feel like a ton of people do that on YouTube, Twitch, streaming, whatever they do. Oh shit, hit the mic with my pencil. Boom. And I think that just sucks for everyone. I think people don't talk about it as much, but I think that sucks for everyone. I think it sucks for the people making the stuff. I think it sucks for the people who want to make stuff. I think it sucks for the people who are consuming it, because if you aren't getting something that someone wants to do, and because it's not the consumer's fault, right? If they want to watch a Souls video, they're gonna, and someone's producing it and they seem like they like it, then you're like, this is great. And then it comes true down the road that they're like, I've been playing too much, and it's like, did you know? Yeah. Dingus thing. Boom. Yeah, this is the pencil that I picked up earlier that I was hitting the mic with. To contrast, this is I was hitting the mic with my dongle. Yeah, this is the it's a HDMI and lightning cable combo for iOS lightning cable adapters, so I can plug this into my iPad for HDMI out. Is what it was earlier. It's called a dongle. Classic. But it's this weird little thing that's got like it's got kind of like a little chode charging cable, because that's the part that plugs into like the iPad. So it's got like 2 or 3 inches of cable, and then the plug, and then the other side it's got, you know, like the chunker that is the HDMI and the lightning in. So this is weird little doohickey, but that lives over here, that normally is part of my my drawing setup, but is right now just loose because I brought my HDMI cord to the presentation party. I think it actually got used, if I'm not mistaken. I think someone was like, hey, does anyone have an HDMI cable? And I pulled it out of my bag and I'm like, yes, I do. I came prepared, but I disconnected it just in case. And I have not put it back together yet.
big stretch. Oh. Mm. But maybe. Snacks good at the party. Don't know if I asked. Yeah. I think so. I definitely ate some potato chips at the party. I think I had eaten a big lunch before I went. Oh yeah, it was so normally on Sundays around these parts, family wise, we have sandwiches on Sunday. But my sister was in town, and it was a Saturday, but she was gonna leave that day. She was gonna miss Sandwich Sunday. So we were like, well, why don't we do Sandwich Sunday on Saturday? And that's important to this story because there's a sandwich place around here that isn't open on Sundays, but they make really awesome sandwiches, but they're also really big and messy. So we did it kind of late sandwich on that Saturday. So I was really full for the party. I brought a giant thing of wine and I drank a bunch of wine. But I was very full. I did have some potato chips at the party, and I brought some pub mix. So like there was plenty of snacks there, and they got pizza. So I don't think there was anything, and there was like a bowl of candy and stuff too. So like there was plenty of snacks. I didn't partake very much in the snack offering because I was very full. So technically I can't really comment, but like there are reasons. Well fed. Oh yeah. I don't eat that much food. Since I'm a low activity person, I'm also a low input. So like I normally have one meal a day. And sometimes that comes up on stream when people are like, it was funny. It was the Bella, who hasn't stopped by after winter break. We'll see. Maybe sometimes people are just gone for good. Fall off the stream bandwagon. We'll see. Sometimes eventually there's that realization where people are like, wait, hang on. I've been coming in and out and you've been streaming for like 7 hours now? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, so do you eat food? And I'm like, not during stream, no. I normally just have dinner. Yeah, I know we've had that conversation, but that was probably like almost, it was probably more than a year ago now, where it was like, hey, you've been playing Final Fantasy 7 for like 14 for like 7 hours. That's always also the funny thing though, where when people are like, wait, you're not eating? I'll stream, like, no. And then I'm like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom for 5 minutes, and they're like, what? And I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this juxtaposition here? You're like, yeah, you should be taking half an hour of a break to go eat, but if you are gone for a couple minutes to go to the bathroom, that's like too long. Like, what the fuck? What is this? Time is a lie. Indeed. I know. I think I also have I feel like, for me personally, I feel like that's supposed to be a positive / a strength I have. Like I can consistently, stream for a mostly uninterrupted, 2, 3 to 7 hour block consistently. Which I feel like should be a bonus. But sometimes people are like, oh, I don't like that you're unhealthy. And I'm like, well, it's not unhealthy for me, but I guess this is backfiring. No. I don't know. But I also understand that for a consumer perspective, there's not a lot of people who want to, well, I don't know that. But like I think the portion of people that have the amount of free time where even if they wanted to engage with a stream consistently for 7 hours, that amount of people that have that time is small. Whether or not it is something people want. But I like to think the idea was that
if I could go consistently for a large period of time, there could be, you know, like segments, kind of like, you know, Annie goes to bed because it gets late in their time zone. And that's awesome that they can come hang out. And then, but ideally, eventually I would have like shifts of people or something where like I could, you know, there would be someone there all the time, because I don't want to expect there to be, I'm not looking for a viewer base that is there for 100% of the stream every day. Like, that doesn't make sense. It would be awesome, but like ideally I think it would be to find, you know, a couple time zones of people that want to spend like an hour or two every couple days a week or something. Wakes up at 3 a.m. to catch a streamer. Sheesh. You know, the things you do for your Oshi. Open stream. Catch consistently. Yes, let's go. Because that was the idea. Was supposed to be that like there's not a schedule. I'm just hanging out for this block, and that like if you got busy or you didn't, or you're like, you aren't feeling it, that like suddenly 3 weeks from now, if this was the last time that you stopped by, it'd be 3 weeks from now on like a Tuesday night, and you're like, oh, this are those hours, and you could just go to YouTube and they'll be there. It's like, I liked the idea that the couch is a constant. It hasn't worked out that way super well yet. And I'm starting to wonder if after 3 years or so, that might be statistically significant. But then every once in a while, I talk to you, talk to Gurdan, Nico, or Xeon, or someone people who stop by every once in a while. It's like, it does seem to be working a little bit. Just a little bit. So, sometimes I have internal conflicts about that, where I'm like, my brain says, this shit ain't working, bro. I'm like, dude, little voice in the head's like, this, either you have a bad idea, you suck at this, or something is going wrong. And then, what is like the other voice, the angel, is like, actually, the counterpoint to this is that you have countable real life people that say the opposite. And it's like, that is true. If it can work a little bit, it can work a lot. I try and think that. I really do. Well, I'm trying to keep going. But it's also, as far as like the lifestyle stuff goes, I think I like to think that how do I put this? So related to what I talk about sometimes when there are people that come by that I treat differently over time, is that like an NPC or video game mechanic, I have like trust meters. Trust is is another way to label it, but it's kind of like it's like not like reliability. Well, maybe assurance, confidence. I think confidence is the word I was looking for. Where it's the confidence meter is like, I believe the things they say, and like I believe they'll do what they say, and that I value the input or something. But reputation meter, for sure, that is definitely a way to describe like the mechanic. But like, I like to think that I present in a way that has high confidence, especially for like long-term replicability, and that I feel like I talk honestly and am rational, and that I have a like, because if you're like, hey, we're worried about your unhealthy lifestyle, and then you look at it and it's like, I've been doing this schedule for like 3 years, with little change, I feel like should probably support that if this is a consistent and sustainable thing, right? And so sometimes, you know, there are some pretty low confidence people for me that come by. Like, I don't mean this in any personal, like, rude way, right? But like, so Stone stopped by today, and that it's been years. I think, you know, they were here before Annie I'd ever seen Annie. But their confidence is very low. They just talk about random crap, and they did it first message. That's why today I showed up. I'm like, oh, I was one. Nope. Okay. And we're immediately talking about like drugs and bombs and stuff. Okay. Well, guess we're just immediately onto that. We're not. Oh, yep. We're just. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna ignore it because there's no substance there. But yeah, I don't know. I think I try as much as possible to be like, when people are worried about my schedule or my drinking habits, etc., that it's out of concern. But I think for me, often that concern is the antithesis to confidence. And I like to think that I should be exuding high confidence, but because I think, like, in my brain, that dichotomy, that, you know, that difference, that like one scale is that, well, if I'm not inspiring confidence in my words and actions, then I am doing the opposite in some way. And so it's like, I must be in some way communicating a little bit like some of the people in my chat communicate to me, that lowers my confidence, which is not necessarily true, because for a number of reasons, including that perhaps I'm putting too much internal thought into social interactions. That's a really good reason right there. That I think that one of the things I've learned over time on the internet is that a lot of the stuff that happens over here and here online is a lot less meaningful than I put on all of my interactions to the general populace. Which is interesting. Are you okay? Yes, I am. Well, I mean, I like that idea, except for that normally people are like, hey, did you drink water? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, hey, what? I'm just making sure. And it's like, well, is that your job or is that my job? But the water thing, I was talking to my family about that, and they're like, my mom was like, oh, that's cute that they care. And I'm like, yeah, but that also, like, they think I can't handle my own self? And then my sister was like, well, you know, plenty of people with like ADHD have problems with that. Like, sometimes it's a real problem. Like, okay. So I clearly am not thinking along like there are definitely, I'm not normal about that, but I don't know. It bugs me for some reason, because I feel like it's like, I'm like, yeah, I can handle that. I think it also reminds me of like when I went to college, and then there was the University 101 course I had to take that was like, hey, make sure you take showers and wash your hands and do laundry. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what? This is my college education. And they're like, and make sure you eat vegetables. I'm like, I have gone through so many health courses already. How many times are you going to teach me this lesson, old man? No. Like, yeah, I get it. But I do think that some people apparently struggle with that. So but I'm like, Very personable. Let's go. Personal interest was the internet, like mother henning. Yeah, I mean, like, I get it. And I get that some people do have a problem with that. I think I'm just kind of tired of it, which is unfortunate. Because even if it's like, right, and like a class that's supposed to teach you how to take care of yourself, I don't think is in any way coming from a demeaning way, or like, you know, like a place, like it's not supposed to be negative, but I think it's like, I feel like society and people have been trying to teach me how to take care of myself for so many years now that I'm like, yeah, like we're there. I got it. It's like take the bathroom break, and someone's like, do you wash your hands? And I'm like, oh, does it seem like we need to check on that? And like, I think it's probably most of the time things are supposed to be less serious, like things in the chat are supposed to be a joke, but when it's like, yeah, like I'm not dehydrating myself, like I would take a break if I needed that. Which I know I'm supposed to take it as a good sign that there's personal investment, but I'm like, bruh, I got it, trust me. Washing hands not the same, it's more like needling. It's yet another thing that I feel like adds to the, okay, we got a little Timmy in here. No, it's like is the washing hands thing a big thing for you in your sphere of influence? Is that's somewhere in the ranking? Okay, yeah, yeah, I'm running. I'm so excited to run back to stream that I'm gonna skip washing my hands. Like, come on. It's like 10 years ago when I was in a ranked queue with the boys in high school, and the queue might pop while I'm in the bathroom. I'd still wash my hands. Like, what? So many years past. I'm like, how? What? Okay, but yeah. Counterpoint to that. There was some like viral stories, like not like, I don't know if it was this last summer or like the year before, but there was like alphas don't wipe, or like I think sometimes there is some weird guy thing where they're like, yeah, I don't wash my hands, or yeah, I don't wipe my ass, and it's like, okay, so apparently some people do struggle with some stuff. So I guess in some ways it could be reasonable to be confused, but I think it feels like those things are more of a self-report than like check-in, but I don't know. Are we looking for a rise? I'm really asking. Yeah, the internet do be getting a little closer to like the bait meta that I'm comfortable with. It's weird. I think the problem I have with it is I feel like rage bait, or just bait in general on the internet, used to be like an art, and I feel like the insidiousness of it is, it feels like it's becoming the communication. Like, I worry that it's like the young people are like, well, you do bait to get reaction because that's how you interact. And it's like, bait used to be a vehicle for certain kinds of interactions, and now it feels like it's becoming the interaction, and I really don't like that, because it feels like people show up and it's like, right there, the people are like, hey, hey, you jacking off with that hand? Hey, you see women as objects? Hey, what's that hand doing? Oh, I'm fucking my cat right now. It's like, people show up and say that, and it's like, what the fuck? That's what you might recognize who I'm picturing in my head based on what I'm saying. That's the voice in my head that kind of goes with that. And it's like, I'm pretty sure that the individuals that engage in that way are probably trying to connect, right? They're like, I think in on who knows what level, given the consistency with which they like some of those people return, I think that they're like, this is how I interact with streamer. And it's like, no, please don't. No, that is so I'm like, I don't know how to communicate. That is like, you can talk to me. You can say what you want to say. This is not how normal people communicate. Like, if you're doing that online to get a reaction from someone, that can, like, if you want reaction, that's okay, I guess, in certain situations. But it's like, but that is not how you do the communicate thing. But, right, I don't know if I'm off base there. That's what it feels like is happening sometimes, where people are like, they show up and they're like, you wash your hands? And it's like, if you want me to respond to you, please just say something normal. Like, I promise you, I'm like, I think there are phases though of like, especially, I mean, sometimes, this is old, I don't know. I think as far as like humor goes, when someone says something like, you're like, did you finish? I'm like, finish with your mom. You know, like, I'm not, like getting off from like high horse or whatever, you know, high road, where like, there are moments where, you know, some crass humor every once in a while is done for the sake of crass humor. Like, if every once in a while I was like, oh, it's like, right, if I don't know if something was happening, if there was like a, you know, like if I was like a, like if there was a weird sound, or like if my tracking was doing something like, what are you doing jacking off down there? I'd be like, okay, haha, no, or like, yeah, just a little bit, or I don't know. I would be like, I'm not opposed to a little bit of lowbrow humor. Or like, you know, if this was leather couch, you do the thing where like it makes a fart noise and like, what are you farting up a storm over there? And like, no, it was the couch. Like, I don't know. I'm but sometimes when it's like, when it is 100% of the communication, after even like a couple consecutive messages, I'm like, what? And if they're like unconnected and there's no communication between, I'm like, I'm like, like I'm out. I'm checked out of this. But sometimes when you're like scrolling the internet and there's just, it feels like there's so much bait. Or maybe people's opinions are just getting worse. It's so hard to tell anyway. Yeah. But like, because I feel like I understand conceptually that like, I do think through a lot of things, and I feel like I'm pretty well educated and clever and like able to do stuff. But I also know that like I'm no clean streamer. I'm not anti lowbrow humor, but sometimes it's like, I don't know. Yeah. A revolution. I feel like we're devolutioning. I think it's called devolving. Now that I spend more than 2 seconds thinking about that. We're having a major revolution in like the opposite direction. I'm not generally a supporter of like mass negative sentiment, but I am loving the anti-AI stuff. There's a lot of people who are getting pretty comfortable with saying some real nasty stuff about AI and the people who use it, and I am kind of all for it. Pretty anti-human race. My hopes aren't high. Yeah, like, I would say that my my confidence in the human race is pretty low in general. But normally you're like the scale, like it's like bell curve of like human is normally pretty balanced. It does sort of feel like we're shifting to the lower side these days. But I think people, you know, philosophers / historians, what some people might say that in the grand scheme, it's all even anyway, but the internet makes it feel not that way. But like, I feel like for a while, there's a lot of people being calmly anti-AI, being like, hey, so like, right, this is stealing from artists, this is really bad. We don't think that's a real tool. And it's like, that was like the sentiment from now. But then the pro AI stuff just kept being, you know, what it is. And now people are like, you're stupid, I hate you, your AI is dumb. And I'm like, I'm kind of for it, because I think it was like the calm, rational stuff wasn't working. So you might as well at least get a little bit of the like energy out of your system and be like, yeah, oh, you edited my art with Grok on Twitter. Well, you can eat my entire ass, you cave dwelling amoeba. Which I think is the like the natural progression, where it's like, we've tried to communicate and it's not working, so we're just gonna insult you now. Like, it's because I like when sometimes there's like an AI generated image of like a pencil drawing that's like, you know, medium quality, and they're like, why didn't you just draw that yourself? Like, literally, do you know what a pen is? What, huh? Like, what? I saw one thing that they were claiming the pie chart was AI generated, and I don't know whether or not I was super believing it. And there was like some text next to the pie chart that was a little off, and people were pretty confident it was AI, and they're like, what the fuck? You couldn't go make a pie chart and like put some text on it? Like, really? You generated that? That's crazy. Discord poll. No, I don't think so. I don't think I've seen anything recently that could accurately be described as Discord poll. Was it about AI? That's low. I do, the one thing I would say for the pie charts is, there was definitely a portion in my life where I knew how to do pie charts in multiple different programs. Like, I think I could do pie charts in PowerPoint or Excel or etc. If I was gonna do a pie chart now, I might not remember, because I don't use that a lot in my daily life. And if education is getting worse, it's possible that maybe people don't know how easy it is to do, you know? It's down already. But is there like, if I Google searched something, because what was it about? Maybe if I just Discord poll. I'm getting stuff about they added it. Was it AI related? It's looking like. Is it? I found a Reddit post that said Discord silently released a user survey regarding implementing AI from 2 days ago. Is that? Was the survey link? Oh, wait. Managed to complete it minutes before it closed. I'd only heard about it from people posting the link in a server I was in, nothing else. I don't know how long the survey was running, but supposedly it hasn't been very long. I can only assume that they don't actually want people answering and just needed to put this survey out there for the plausible deniability of having asked for users' consent on AI. Is this? Responsibility if they had AI features. Hope they get back a flood of oh fuck no. Interesting. Some of the points I put in the free response question because I'm against AI on principle. Survey is not currently active. Yeah, okay. This is interesting. Huh. Of course they buried the survey link somewhere no one would see it. Classic corpo move. We asked for feedback while making sure as few people as possible actually give it. What even would they have AI for? That is so okay. Interesting. Like AI side note was so there's actually this let's see if I can. There, I noticed this little AI button when I was reviewing one of my VODs. Is it on my live? I noticed this. Okay, it's not on the live stream that I'm currently streaming. But if you go to, is that on videos too, or is it just streams? Hello there. Okay, it's not on that video. Oh god, what am I doing? My algorithm is gonna hate all this of me clicking around. It's or oh yeah, here it is. So mods, chat summaries, templates for servers, maybe emotes. I from context, I think I was able to. I think I got what you were putting down. Let's see. And I was actually, this is in recorded history, I think I have only interacted with AI twice now. I once when ChatGPT first launched and everyone was talking about it, I have a screenshot of, I remember going in and talking, or, chatting with it once and being like, this is stupid. Because I have a screenshot. I think I found it on my PC a while ago. It was like, I did the classic thing where it was, there's this like joke about this math problem about, they're like, you have an orchestra of 50 players and they play, Beethoven's Seventh in 100 minutes. How long would it take 100 players? And it's like, it's the same amount of time. That's not a, what, huh? But I asked the ChatGPT the same question, and it was like, it would take them half the time. And it's like, oh. And I was like, well, okay, so this is dumb. Like it's just a language model. It can't answer questions. Like this is not a real, this is silly. And then that's the last time I talked to it or, interacted with it. But then this weekend, I noticed this little image or this little thing pop up that okay, let's see, how is it going to show up on screen? So like there's this little ask like Gemini button here, and so like, so the thing that I was like I'm gonna click it, see what the hell is this? So the thing that really gets me, that's fascinating here is, so the first two are like, summarize the video, recommend related content. That seems normal. But then like these next three, why switch from shield play? How do enemies track players? What makes some DLC areas challenging? Like immediately I was like, wait, hang on. So if I click why switch from shield play, it's probably gonna say, well, let's see. The player considers switching from shield play because it is inefficient for attacking, and it gives a timestamp and makes them vulnerable, especially when facing multiple enemies. The shield playstyle, another timestamp, also proved ineffective against certain enemies, like the crawlers, leading the player to switch to a higher damage output weapon. Because this was like clearly the AI has a transcript of the, like it's clearly got like the subtitles. The only thing I could think of as an actual use for this is like I would love for there to be a comment on the video if you had a question like this. I would rather someone be like going into the comment section and asking me. The one thing I will say though, the only thing I could think of for this feature is if there was a stream, right? This is like, a 7-hour stream, but let's say you were watching the stream and I fought a boss and then you were playing and you remembered that I'd fought that and you were like, oh, I feel like there was a strat he was using to like get some extra hits in. And so you go to the stream and you're like, I have no fucking clue where that is. If you asked it, hey, you'd be like, let's see, when, if you're like, when does Astarchus fight the Ivory King? Okay, that didn't work. The Ivory King is not featured in this video. I couldn't find any information on Astarchus fighting the Ivory King in other videos. Okay, okay, well, okay, this is working really well. Great, AI is so helpful. Well, okay. The burnt Ivory King? Ooh, okay, when does, oh, this is not working. When does Astarchus fight Ava? The fight against Ava is not shown in this video. I'm pretty sure it is. Okay, this is not working. When does fight the Fume Knight? The fight with Fume Knight is not shown in this video. Oh, this is not working. Never mind. Okay, so I think the problem here is that it doesn't, so it, I think it only has the transcript. So I think if I said, I am going now to fight the Fume Knight, it would probably be able to tell you. This is fucking hilarious. So the interesting thing though is like, you can ask, like, it does know what I say, like you can be like, what does Astarchus think about the Fume Knight fight? Astarchus thinks the Fume Knight is so cool and that his vibes are so impeccable. They also like his set and swords, though they note that the swords are not very good in terms of gameplay. So like, it definitely knows stuff I'm talking about. But yeah, you can say, what does power stance do? So, but like a lot of it, I feel like would be better as comments or just a Google search. But it's like it's got the mechanic, and then it's like gaining ability of power stance, the lances after increasing their dexterity, significant damage output with the power stance. Like there are some interesting things. You'd have to remember what I was talking about to actually get any value out of this. The scary thing to me though was it's so much better at talking about the stuff in my own stream than any real person I can talk to. Which is a little sad because I can ask it questions about my stream and I could ask it like, and it's funny because if I'm like, because I was just testing stuff out, but it was a little scary that I could feel, it was kind of nice that I was just testing some things out, because it was like, and I think, it's probably lying all the time anyway, but like if you're like, is Astarchus responsive? It thinks I'm talking to the chat a lot, and so but it's like it was like, damn, if I was more lonely, this shit kind of nice. It seems like it's listening to me. I know it just, I happen to know how this shit works. And so I know it's just scraping a a file that is just all the words I ever said? Can it lie? It's not. Well, I would say that, right. I think anything can lie if it knows the truth. And you could argue that this knows nothing since it can't think. But I think if you design something to offer positivity in a vacuum, that is a lie. Because if you cannot determine the truth, then everything is by default fake. Does that make sense? I think that if this was like a proof or something, I think I would posit that well, it's kind of nebulous. It's almost like a Schrodinger's cat, where like if the AI cannot determine whether or not something is true or false, it is, I think you could argue that it is, you know, either always telling the truth, always lying, or can't do either. But I would argue that I would side with always lying, because it is always bullshitting. It is very good at giving bullshit that lines up with what people want to hear. But often, right, it is designed to lie to you in the way that you find pleasing. Right? That's how I view it. Where, because it's like, and I tried to, and it's like even that was because I was like, hey, is Aristarchus a good streamer? And they're like, they're great, because I'm like, is, you know, Aristarchus a good streamer? And it'd be like, yeah, they're humorous and interactive. Oh, wait. Okay, last time I asked you this, it gave me an answer. This what? Okay, now I look crazy. And it's like, as an AI, I don't have personal opinions. It told me last time. It gave me an opinion last time. That's weird. Because last time I tested this, it was like, yeah, they're super responsive and humorous. And I was like, and then I asked it, would you lie to me? And it was like, no, I give a very unbiased and I said, would you tell me if you had negative opinions? And it was like, no, I give a very, you know, balanced approach. And I was like, you motherfucker, that's just because that's what you would want to hear. Where it's like, yeah, maybe I asked it in a different way, but I thought this was strange. But like, I think this yeah, I know, AI is so shitty. It's one of the interesting things that every once in a while, you know, you see enough posts where people are like, the anti-AI people are so mean, and there's enough stuff they're like, well, and I'm like, am I being mean? And then I try another product and I'm like, no, this shit sucks. Because it doesn't work. I thought the one use would be finding timestamps, but it kind of does that too inconsistently. If you don't know what you're looking for, it seems like it's working. But if you know what you want to find, it doesn't work. Because like almost like every single product I've tried, number one, doesn't work the way you would want it to. And number two has downsides. And it's like, okay, if it doesn't work and also has negatives, bad. Because like, this isn't helping me find things, but it also, like, if I was a more vulnerable person, this could be gaslighting me about myself and my content or something. I've been censored. The AI doesn't want you to talk bad about it. Ugh. Like, this shit is so dangerous. But yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting that I'd found, interesting that it didn't work the way I thought it was, but hate it. Yeah, I hate it too. It's so nasty. It's so nasty. But my voice is going a bit, and I should probably go make sure my teeth are in proper order. If you just because it's a good recommendation, if you like my content, I hope that in some way I can scratch the surface of watching some Josh Strife Hayes. There's some Josh Strife Hayes clips on Josh Strife Says. I highly recommend that if you want better content than mine, but it's similar. I'd highly recommend checking that out. That's a good recommendation. I don't really watch a lot of content on my channel from this channel, but it's a good rec. See some of his MMO stuff. He is a based guy. He has such logical and reasoned opinions. So cool. Like your content, fine, just fine. Thank you very much. Yeah, the talking heavy streams sometimes uses up my throat durability more often than not. But I think this would be a good place to wrap it up. Go prep for the dentist. Thank you so much, everyone who stopped by today, whether you're here now or long gone. It means a lot to me to stop by for any amount of time. I think this will be it for me today, but I will be back tomorrow and maybe playing Hytale if that releases at the right time. I'd try that out. That is on my radar. Other than that, I don't know. I sit on the couch. Thank you for hanging out and talking to me. I like feeling like I am producing content that is seen by people. And it's nice when something other than an AI tells me that. But yeah, I look forward to whenever next we hang, whether that's tomorrow or a year later. Hopefully I'm still around. Thank you so much again. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day, night, evening, morning, lunch, siesta, etc. And hopefully I see you around sometime soon. Bye-bye for now.